did my job, I taught the lesson, okay? But I don't expect them to know it because it's gonna be touched on again in 4th grade, 5th grade. They're gonna grasp it in one of those other grades. I'm just exposing it to them, okay? So there's some that I just delete the questions on because I don't want them to miss it and that defeat their confidence in math on something that they aren't expected to know, okay? So, anyway, so there is, Embark will be your favorite website the first year, okay? Then, Great Minds is another website you're gonna wanna save. Greatminds.org, I think is what it is. Okay, greatminds.org. And you'll have to, the best thing to do is to create an account and go in and do that. And then you may want to write down, see those 4 green lines right here? Well, these first 3 anyway. You'll want to write those down because you can search for them up here in the search. And then you can save them to like your main screen because that's what you're going to go to all the time. Oh, I just clicked on that while you were writing. I'm sorry. There you go. Eureka Math Teacher Resource Pack. That's your Oklahoma Standards right there, the Align one. And then Eureka Basic Curriculum Files. This is my favorite website. I go to it every single day. The homework one, I don't do a lot of homework with it. Like I said, I did leave it as like work for kids when I was absent, but you don't have to do the 4th one.
Thank you for all of this stuff.
No problem. If it makes your life easier, believe me, it's worth it. I went home crying like the first year because I was like, this is crazy. But I'm giving you hints that you won't go crying, don't worry. You'll do good. I don't like people crying, so don't cry.
We appreciate it.
Don't cry.
Showing me crying, my ankles are swollen.
And
Somebody
somebody
look at
say
me wrong.
homework, like probably, of course, we're not really big on homework anyway, but I would say
remember what it was, but it's funny.
anything that's gonna confuse the parents, because when I went through this first, I was like,
Yeah.
this is a whole different way of thinking.
I will
than
tell
what we were taught.
Yeah, I will tell you, absent work, I usually don't send it home. Okay, like I will, depending on the lesson and the kid, okay? Sometimes we just skip over it, okay? And sometimes I may keep them in to work on it, or some of them just work on it in class and bring it over to me. But I learned it's really hard to send it home because the parents don't know how to do it.
And they're gonna
And you
say,
don't wanna
"This is
send
the
home
Common
that,
Core
the
stuff."
workbook, cause you don't
It
wanna
can be
send
something
it
that's
back.
worth it to help us.
Yes,
understand.
and honestly, you send it home, the parents will be texting and calling you saying, we just did it the way that I was taught,
Yes.
and if that's wrong, I'm sorry. You know, so it's like, okay.
It'll be on
Yeah.
Collinsville 411.
Yeah. I just speak out. So yeah, so I learned it's like I will send home like this. Like I will tear the page out or make a copy of it and they can work on that. They can work on that stuff, that's fine. But Eureka, I don't want it. Our parents over there are getting a lot more acclimated to it now. First year, definitely don't send it home. Okay? Just because it's not that the kids can't do it, but you just don't want to deal with, because it is a completely different way of teaching math than any of us were taught. It's cool. I think it's awesome. And I have more of a math brain now than I ever did. I mean, I was a reading person. So, complete opposite ends
So-
of the spectrum here.
3 years, having 3 years behind you, do you feel this is beneficial to the kids?
Yes, I do. It's a lot of work the first year, but like I said, last year, the kids came in and my lessons were like, I even commented like, holy cow, this is easy, you know,
Wow.
because they know what an array is, they know what a tape does. So your first year, you're spending all of your time
Laying that
teaching them that. Well, the second year, you remember that? And they're like, yeah, kinda. And it depends on which teacher they had last year, if they had bought in or not, you know? So But by the third year, they've had 2 years of this. It was with additions. Like I said, you spend your whole time just teaching them that addition is like the big sister to multiplication. I mean, like, multiplication is the big sister to addition. So we've been talking about little brother and little sister. Now we're talking about big brother and big sister. Okay, because multiplication and division, they're connected to addition and subtraction, but that's what big people do. You know, so they've got the tape diagram, the number bonds, they know them by year 3 and 4. They get them. It's just you transitioning, teaching them that it applies to multiplication. So instead of doing like a number bond, like you have your answer here, 2 lines, you know, and you have your 2, like 7 plus 2 is 9. Okay, well what we would do in multiplication, we would have, let's say 4 times 3. So I would have 4 lines with 3 in each circle makes my 12. Okay, so they know what a number bond is, but you're just teaching it, you learned it in it, and I've even drawn it up there. I'm like, remember addition? We did it like this. Now we're doing multiplication. So you're just teaching them to transition those tools over to multiplication. Okay, so that's what you spend your whole time, and then convincing them that they know how to do division. Like literally, that's what you spend all year trying to convince them. Okay, so this one may take me a second because I haven't clicked on it in 5 months, so hold on 1 second. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this teacher's resource pack, I click on that. Then I'm going to click on the story of units. Oh gosh. I feel like they're not listening. Ready? You ready?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just like going step by step and I'm like, oh gosh, they're not listening. Okay. Teachers make the worst students. I'm bad at it.
Yes.
We do. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. So this math teacher resource pack. I use this every single day and I'm gonna show you why. Okay, so I click on it and it's gonna pull up, here's your resource pack. I'm doing story of units. Okay. I'm gonna scroll down to grade 3. Click on that. Nope, that's not it. Materials list, nope. Hold on. I told you I haven't been on this for 5 months, so hold on. Oh, it's this one. It's the basic curriculum file. Sorry about that. They look the same. Same thing, click on story of units. Grade 3. There it is. Okay, so you have each.
Can you go back 1 step?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just writing it down for the
There you go.
So
Whoops.
basic curriculum,
Files.
okay, then story of.
Then story of units, which is
Story of
pre-K through 5.
Okay, story of units. And then the third,
Then I click on grade 3.
okay.
Okay. Now you're going to see each module. You see each module there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I click on that. Okay. So this is where I teach from the Smartboard a lot. Okay. So this first one is their lesson, like their problem set. And then I don't know why, but the exit ticket's always on the second one down here. So I click on this, pulls it up. Here's my first lesson. So it is literally pulled up there. I have the same thing that the kids have, and I teach from this. Okay, so I'm literally, we're going through it, we're working on it. Okay, so it has all of it. I'm circling, like I said, you're circling a lot of groups. Okay, but it's on there, so you don't have to, I don't know how y'all are digitally, but I'm on the Smartboard and we're up here working on this all the time. Okay, so it's on there, every module's on there, all of it.
Were you able to, like, I know distance learning was so, new to everybody,
So we didn't do any
you
Eureka.
did, okay, so for this year, are you, like, what is your, okay. I just like, because I don't know, like.
Because,
how
I
you
mean,
plan
like,
on-
There's resources you can use, like Zern, you could put them on Zern, but Yeah, we're supposed to, I think.
So I have people that have already signed up on that, and so that's what I was trying to figure out, is like, it's a new curriculum. So the InSync, my older grades are getting the InSync, which they want to run Chromebook, so it's easier for them. But that actually has the teaching video on there for kids.
I mean, you could add like that video,
Yes.
you could embed that in there in like Google Classroom, they could watch it. And I mean, they could learn it that way, because that's how they're gonna learn it this year probably, with you teaching it, you know? It's just not, I mean, obviously, it works, because that's how my kids learned the first year, that's how I learned the first year. And, you know, you could embed that video in there and you could teach it that way, you could put the assignments on there, and all that stuff.
Let me put this printed stuff too.
You know, you could do it.
And
we
they will all have a printed
have to-
workbook
yeah.
that you can tear out pages and send
Mhm.
them.
So
Yeah.
if we had to, we could put the video on Classroom, Google Classroom, and they could do it with a book.
Yeah.
And you would choose, so I know Great Minds had the videos last time, but I think that was just during the pandemic, right?
Oh, I don't know, I didn't use it, I've always used Embarks,
Okay.
because
Hey, I have a question.
he's pretty good.
We have a question. So they can choose not to come to school for pre-K through fifth?
Yeah, I just figured that out.
That wasn't on the, when is that, not Friday?
Yes.
It's the return to learn.
It's in the return to learn, it says remote learning.
I know, but it says that we would only use that if the school closed for the virus, or if it was inclement weather.
No, they have the
On one of the bullet
option.
There's
points.
an option
They
on
have
there.
the option.
Yeah, there's.
Our, here, and I can talk to you guys about that later, but we do have an option.
Yeah. When are, can I just ask when we are gonna learn what that looks like for us? You know what I mean?
We'll talk about it on the 11th. We can talk about it more actually today, later on.
We don't have a ton of time to prepare, that's why I'm scared.
Yeah.
We're
This is the first year I have not bought anything for my classroom.
Right.
I have not bought, I'm like, I'm usually out there buying the crayons, buying all this, cause you know, you got those kids that come in and you gotta have the supplies for them, and I'm like, it's so depressing, I haven't bought, I haven't even looked at anything, and I'm like, I saw a cute little world map one, and I was like,
I
I
bought
want
it
to
all
do it.
in phase.
And we have-
Did you? I'm proud of you, cause I haven't.
And I like eventually.
I have a little
We'll see
email
eventually.
set to go out today that has a blurb about what we're calling it, just because it does look different. But I'll be honest, like, we probably haven't said a lot, just because it has been ever changing.
Oh, yeah.
And so, not to, in light of trying to stress everybody out, but I think we're getting a good handle on what that looks like. I feel like we're getting a good picture, so. But we can visit more today, but that is something I would love to know, kind of how you feel that this would be effective with a distance learning.
Yeah.
Whether you had to shut down your classroom or whatever.
I would probably go back to his videos and
Okay.
share it that way, because he does a halfway decent job of explaining the procedure.
And
Does that
they
make
watch
sense?
it over and over again.
They can watch
And
it,
it was
you
just,
know,
what, 5 minutes? Like
Yeah,
it was short?
yeah, it
Okay,
really
that's
is.
doable.
it's not real long, you know, and it's teaching the parents too, so they can, you know, they can kind of explain it to the kids.
Is there another video, like, that you guys have ever used? Like,
I haven't.
what we used to do, like, sometimes is, like, I would look up YouTube videos. Is there any other ones that you can?
I haven't found one that's any easier than his.
Okay.
I mean, there may be some out there, I just haven't found any.
There is something that's similar to, so the InSync, when we Googled that, there are some little short snippets
Just
of
wanna see
YouTube.
him dance every time.
I know,
I
so
know.
I was like, and?
I'm learning about the InSync platform, which is something that we, like I said, we're looking at for our older grades that have that capability, but they're still, it's still not savvy.
Yeah.
We want it for 3rd grade.
We were doing good for Google Classroom, I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
Okay, so each lesson is, you can just pull it up here and teach it, okay? The one annoying thing is then you gotta go back and you gotta pull up, like on a second tab, you gotta pull up the exit ticket, cause it'd be really swell if you could just scroll on through and do it, but they didn't do that. So, you got that, I teach my lesson, I do, you know, like I said, on this one, I would probably do number 1, number 2, I can't see from back here, I'm blind, let me get to the computer. I would teach, cause I want them to practice, so I'm like, we would definitely go slow over this one. We would work on circling, circling, circling. How many groups did we make? We made 3 groups. How many is in each group? There's 5 in each group, okay? So 3 groups of 5. So I go in and I write 5 inside my circle even, okay? So we're counting 5, 10, 15. 3 groups of 5 equals 15. And so all they're doing is changing, they're taking words out, that's it. 3 5s, 1, 2, 3. I have 3 5s equals 15. 3 times 5 equals 15. Okay? And then they're like blown away that they figured out how to do multiplication. Okay? So we go through and it's like, okay, circle my groups. Okay? And then I literally go in and I write, there's 3 here, there's 3 here. And the reason I do that is it's coinciding with this down here, and it's helping them do repeated addition. Okay? Repeated addition is multiplication. We talk about that over and over and over again. Okay? So, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. We'll write the answer. 5 groups of 3 is going to be 15. 5 times 3 is 15. And we talk about in multiplication how we can switch the numbers back and forth. If you start now teaching them that, by the time they get halfway through the year, they know twice as many multiplication problems. They know, it's like if you show them that from the very beginning, that if it's 3 times 5, if I know 3 times 5, I already know 5 times 3. If you start from the beginning showing that to them, because then they start doing the commutative property and all that, and it's like, as you go further into the math problems, that's what they start teaching them. I mean, there's whole lessons on teaching them how to switch it. Well, if you've already laid the groundwork for that, that's a super easy lesson. Okay? So start now telling them that they can switch it and it's the same answer. Okay? So you got that. Oh, I just walked in front of that computer, that video thing. Okay, so then we're circling groups. We're writing how many in each group. So I would do this whole front page, and then we would talk about number 2, because can I make a multiplication problem out of this? Why can I not make a multiplication problem out of it?
You have equal groups.
You gotta have equal groups, that's correct. I've been writing the same number in each circle. Can I write the same number in those circles?
No.
Okay, so we're introducing groups, we're teaching them groups. Okay? So literally, and then I may look at, you could do 3, I probably wouldn't even mess with 4. It just depends on my class. Like I said, you don't have to do every problem just because it's on there. The further you go down the numbers, the more abstract it gets. If you have a really low class, you may just want to teach them the basics. Like I said, that may be something as we go along further into the school year. I may say, okay, I want you guys to work on number 3. If you get done and want to work on number 4, you can do that. Okay? So I'll give them just a few minutes to work on number 3 independently before I release them to the exit ticket. And then that's just me kind of getting an idea of how many are getting it and how many aren't. Okay? So how long that lesson hasn't taken me very long at all. And so then we go on to our exit ticket, which, like I said, this is where the booger is. You go back to your, right here, your Great Minds, and click on your exit ticket. Now the sprints and fluency first, so you always have to, if you're a really great teacher, you have all this pulled up before class starts. If you're like me, you forget, and then you're sitting here scrolling. Okay, so then you have your exit ticket. I tell them, okay guys, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Okay, I want you to do problem 1. If you get done, I want you to do problem 2. If you have time, work on problem 2. Okay? So, I'm walking around, I'm checking to see how they're doing while they're working on their problem 1. Okay, 5 minutes is up. What'd you guys come up with? The picture below shows 4 groups of 2 slices of watermelon. Fill in the blanks to make the repeated addition and multiplication sentence. Okay? Well, remember, we label our pictures, so 2, 2, 2, 2. leave it in the book until you do your topic quiz, cause if you look at the topic quiz, that's the first question on the topic quiz. You wanna give them an open book test, some of them are gonna be, oh yeah, some of them are gonna be able to figure out how to do an open book test, and so you have to kinda show them, guys, we did this 3 days ago. You know, you may open up your book, everybody get the, I've even got to the point where I'm like, put the book on your desk, you know, put the book on your desk, and then it's up to them to open it up, like literally, okay? So, you know, and then if we wanted to, cause number 2 is just a little bit more abstract for them just learning multiplication. Okay, it says draw a picture to show 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9. Then write a multiplication sentence. It's not the end of the world, they can do it, you know? And we may just go over that real quick as a class. I'm like, how would you guys have solved this? Okay, I gotta do, how many groups do I have? I have 3 groups, I gotta draw 3 circles. How many's in each group? 3. Cause it's gonna take them a minute to figure out, the biggest struggle is gonna be them figuring out groups. How many in each group? They'll get it, but that's a new concept for them. There's lesson 1.
So the topic quizzes are in this?
No, cause I collect those, I just hand them
Those
out.
are just ones we'll have to have copies of.
Mhm.
So do you do any other testing besides the topic quizzes?
In Eureka, no. There's an end of module assessment, there's a mid-module assessment, there is, you can test the wazoo out of them if you want, but I don't.
Do you find just doing the topic quizzes gives you the information you need?
In the morning work every day.
Right. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
I feel like if I keep saying it over and over again, I'll
Yes.
Yeah. Then you'll have tons of questions once I leave, you'll be like, oh gosh, she said something about that, and I can't remember what it was, that's me. And so, but here's module 3 and 6, same thing, if you wanna look through them, you can. Feel free, anybody, there you go, okay, there you go. You get the hot pants to go with your shirt.
So are we getting these for the students?
Yes, every student will have a module, so, and we're doing them like module 1, module 2, and that way, just in case the student moves, like you saw the book, so they don't have the whole book or whatever, they're bound just like that.
Okay, great.
Except for when we were looking at spirals, I thought it might be easier, cause they were saying that sometimes the binding comes apart, but if you're saying it's okay, I think it's actually cheaper to go that way.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, the spiral binding,
Yeah.
it took us,
Okay.
cause you think about it, it's a lot harder for him to spiral bind, so it's gonna cost more.
Right, yes it is.
The tape binding, we have not, I mean,
Okay.
we haven't had any problems with it. I know they've said in the past, but we have it perforated, so last year we didn't have it perforated and we were having them tear the pages out, it got a little messy.
Okay.
But, if they're perforated, they tear out just fine, and like I said, you only have that for maybe a month and a half.
But then they take it home, so it doesn't matter if she can send it.
Exactly, you know, and even the one for the year, it wasn't bad, it really wasn't, you know, the one we do our DMR, it really wasn't that bad.
Well.
And you will get them back a heck of a lot quicker.
I can't say enough about the work that you all put into this, like, I mean, they're sharing their blood, sweat, and tears
Right.
with
Yes,
us.
thank
Like,
you.
literally, it's
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
what they've taken, so just, I mean,
Yeah.
look, SkyTech has been incredible since
It really,
day
I'm
one.
not gonna lie, my first year, I may have cussed it a little, I'm not gonna lie. It was, but, after seeing how the kids have become such math brains through this, it's like, it really is pretty cool. You know, it's just me getting over my uncomfortableness of, this is not the way I was taught, I have to learn something new, and it's like, but now, they really do get it. And to watch them think outside the box, it's pretty cool. You know, I mean, it's like, we really work on trying to use our brain to solve problems, not just, it's amazing how many of them are like, here's the answer. Okay, how'd you get that answer? I don't know. You know, it's like them trying to just process, them thinking. That's what's crazy, is them thinking. And so that's what I feel like this has kind of taught them, is they have to think, and then it's like, we use those skills even in our, like I said, when our word problems come around, we use the tape diagram, because it's a picture, you know, we can draw a picture, put the information on there, we use it other places than just Eureka